Yesterday morning, I got a train in Norwich. My train was delayed an hour, so I texted my girlfriend saying I was having the worst day ever. I think a lot of us do when our train's delayed for even 10 minutes. I remember I was really pent up, I was really angry, I was tweeting Greater Anglia, and then obviously morning turned into afternoon, and in the afternoon, the news broke of the terror attack in London. And obviously, people lost their lives in that attack, and there are still people in hospital now fighting for their lives. Makes me think I wasn't having the worst day ever, at all. Not even close. I mean, your train's delayed, mate. What are you moaning about? And that's why today, in this video, I couldn't just do a normal video. I just couldn't. I mean, yesterday we had mums, dads, brothers, sisters not going home to their family just because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. I couldn't just sit here today and go, oh, Alfie Dace's book's a bit shit, innit? The monster that carried out these attacks doesn't deserve our time. We don't need to talk about him. He is gone. He's history. Oh, he's vulgar. So let's forget him straight away. The people that do deserve our thoughts are the people that lost their lives. Now, at the time of recording, the civilians that lost their lives in London haven't been identified yet. They've not been released to the general public. But of course, it goes without saying that my thoughts are with the families of anyone who was affected in yesterday's tragedy. But guys, we do know the identity of one of the men that lost their lives yesterday, and it's this man, PC Keith Palmer, and he is the man that I want to talk about today. PC Keith Palmer. That is a name that we all need to remember. As soon as the news broke yesterday, I, like many others, was watching footage live from the scene. You see hundreds and hundreds of civilians running away from the scene. Now, I would love to think of myself as somebody who wouldn't have ran away. I would have stayed and helped, but to be honest, I would have been the first one to bottle it. I would have been gone. I'd have been running with everybody else. Yeah, and you can't blame them. And you can't blame them. The world in which we live in today, we're seeing terror attacks nearly every other week. So running away is the natural thing to do, and I do not blame anyone for doing that. But there were a group of people that didn't run away. I'm obviously talking about police, men and women, and the paramedics, and just the people whose job it is to protect and serve us. Strangers, essentially. And PC Keith Palmer was unfortunately, he was the guy that got caught up in the mess, he got stabbed, and he unfortunately lost his life. I think the word legend is thrown around far too willingly these days, that it has almost lost its meaning. I mean, I call footballers legends. Do you know what I mean? I think policemen and women who risk their lives every single day by putting on that badge and going out to protect myself and you guys, they are legends in the truest sense of the word. They are modern day heroes. Of course they are. As recently as yesterday morning, PC Keith Palmer would have woken up in his house with his wife, with his kids, had breakfast, gone to work like a normal dad. Like my dad does every single morning, like your dad does every single morning. And because of the sick actions of one twisted individual, he has lost his life. And the sad thing about it is that if, like me and you, PC Keith Palmer would have just run away in that situation, he'd be fine today. He'd be going back home to his kids. He'd be going back home to his wife. But he didn't run away. And I mean, they've all got their uniform on, they've all got their colours on, they're running there. They are heroes. Now, the reason that I think I feel so strongly for this is not just because these policemen and women do an amazing job. Of course they do, that goes without saying. It's because I feel, with my age group especially, they are very, very undervalued. And more often than not, they're disrespected quite often. And I'm going to hold my hands up and say, when I was a teenager, I would use many of the slanderous nicknames out there for police, and the whole time I wasn't really sure why. It's such a shame that many teenagers fall into that hole of just hating the police. For what reason? I never had a reason. And now, especially as I'm a bit older, I look back on these teenagers that still post status updates about, oh, fuck the po-po, fuck the police. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's like it's cool to hate the police. These kids that make shitty rap videos outside their local Aldi going, fuck the po-po, fuck the po... What are you talking about? And although I definitely never sunk that low, as a teenager, I definitely did have a distaste for the police. A distaste that came out of nowhere, for no reason, because it was the cool thing to do. So I just want to do a little bit to raise some money for the Police Dependents Trust. In honour of PC Keith Palmer, I've started a Just Giving page at justgiving.com/Keith Palmer. You guys can head over to there right now, or click the link down below and it'll take you directly there. I want to unite myself and my audience, and anybody else that may be watching this video. I want us all to come together and donate money to the Police Dependents Trust. The Police Dependents Trust is a charity that's set up to help injured policemen and women that were injured in the line of duty. It also goes to the family of policemen and women that, like PC Keith Palmer, didn't come home one day. So today, why don't we come together and just give £1, £2, £5, £10, whatever you can afford, to the Police Dependents Trust in honour of the great PC Keith Palmer. This man here. Remember the face, remember the name, because that is a hero in the truest sense of the word. 91% of my audience are between the ages of 16 and 24. We are young people. Me, barely, but you are definitely young people. So why don't we use this opportunity to come together as young people and show the police force we're not all stood outside our local Lidl's with a camera phone taking the piss out of them in a shitty rap song. A lot of us love and appreciate the work that they do. Because let's face it, guys, the next time we're in a spot of bother and we don't know what to do, we're going to be calling them up straight away. Help me. And they'll be there. And they'll be there, because that's their job and that's what they love to do. And I think together today, as a demographic of young people, we can come together and change the stereotype, change the way in which people think that young people perceive the police. Any ad revenue I make from this video, I will throw straight into the fund as well. I'm not going to take any money that this video makes. I don't want to. That's not what this is about. It's justgiving.com/Keith Palmer. So to PC Keith Palmer and the other individuals that were in the wrong place at the wrong time yesterday and unfortunately lost their lives in London, rest in peace. My thoughts go out to you and your families. And to everybody that works in the public service department, I'm talking about paramedics, I'm talking about firefighters, and I'm especially talking about policemen and women. If there are any of you out there that are watching this, I just want you guys to know that you are appreciated by a vast majority of us. You do a fucking amazing job, something that I would never be brave enough to do. So I take my hat off to you for that, and I shouldn't. Do you know what I mean? I really shouldn't. I'll see you next week when the normal videos will return. PC Keith Palmer, you're a hero.